This project started somewhere between imagination and reality. Not fully from life, not fully invented, but built piece by piece from different sources. And I wanted to see how far I could push it. Alright, first stage, pencil drawing. Let's do this.
When you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't want.
Now the drawing is finished and ready to be transferred onto the canvas.
Driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go.
Now the sketch is locked in onto the canvas and it's time to stop playing nice and start throwing some color down. Most artists try to paint everything in one go and then wonder why their paintings feel flat. The problem isn't talent, it's the process. Or more precisely, it's trying to solve too many things at once. In this particular painting, I went straight into color over the umber base, without overcomplicating the process. But even then, I'm not just randomly placing color. I'm still thinking in terms of structure, values, and relationships. That part never changes. When you start painting, it's very tempting to focus on color first. But color alone doesn't carry the painting. If the values and forms underneath aren't working, no amount of beautiful color will fix it. That's usually where the things start to feel a bit off, even if you can't immediately explain why. So even though I'm working more directly here, I still approach it step by step. First I establish the main value relationships, then I gradually introduce color, and only after that do I start refining details. In the beginning, I keep the color slightly restrained. Not completely dull, but controlled. That way, I have room to push saturation later, if needed. If you go too strong too early, you limit your options. But if you hold back just enough, the painting has space to grow. As I move forward, I start to build more variation into the surface. Subtle shifts in temperature, small changes in hue, nothing extreme but enough to break the initial monotony. Especially on large areas, this becomes important. A single flat color almost always looks artificial. Another thing I pay attention to is how different parts of the painting relate to each other. The sky, the water, the rock, the main subjects, they all influence one another. You can't really paint them in isolation. Everything is connected through light, color, and value. Edges play a big role here as well. Some areas stay more defined, others are softened or even slightly lost. That helps to create depth and keeps the image from feeling too rigid. And then there is a question of detail. It's very easy to jump into details too early. But if the larger structure isn't working, those details won't save the painting. So I try to build things in layers of complexity, starting broad, then gradually refining. At this stage, I'm still thinking in terms of big shapes and relationships, not perfection. The goal is to get everything working together first, Then the fine-tuning comes a little bit later. You can also notice that I don't move through the painting in a perfectly linear way. I jump from one area to another, adjusting, comparing, coming back. That's a very natural way to work. It helps keep the whole painting balanced as it develops. In the end, what matters is not whether you're painting on one layer or several. It's about whether the painting holds together, whether the values make sense, whether the forms feel solid. And that usually comes down how you build a painting, not how fast you finish it. There's obviously a lot more going on behind the scenes here, but I'm keeping things a bit more general in this video. If you want to see the full process and go deeper into the technical side, you can check out the extended version where everything is explained step by step. For now, just focus on this idea. Don't try to solve everything at once. Build the painting gradually and let each step support the next. Okay, and that's all for today, my friends. If you want to see more of my work, you can join my YouTube membership, the Old Masters tier, where I share full painting video workshops and more detailed content. And if you really want to go deeper into the process, you can join me on Patreon. That's where I post extended lessons and more in-depth tutorials. You can also check out my website, mademerch.com, for prints, merch, and other stuff. And if you picked something up, you can use the code M8SELL for 10% off. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook. Bye bye.